Good afternoon, students. Welcome back. So this is the last session for today. We are going to briefly go over or introduce you to the department heads and the staff in each department. So this is our website. So this is Basveshwara Medical College website, which has all the information that you require. You can log into that website and check. And if you click on departments, you can see all the departments in the college and hospital have been listed, and we'll go one by one. And this is anatomy department. This shows the examination in process. And staff include, this is Dr. Mahesh GM, who was the previous head of the department of anatomy department till recently, and he is a MBBS MS in anatomy, and he is currently the professor in Department of Anatomy. His HOD post has been handed over to Dr. Shirish Patil, as Mahesh sir has crossed the age limit for that. And this is Dr. Gurshantaya, who is retired recently. So the website is not yet updated. So now we have the head of the department as Dr. Shirish Patil. Then he is also a professor and professor in anatomy. And we have next we have Dr. Siraj Ahmed, who is also a professor of anatomy. And then we have myself, that is Dr. Yogesh. I am an assistant professor in anatomy. And we have Dr. Mahalakshmi, who is also an assistant professor in anatomy. And we have one more newly joined assistant professor, Dr. Ashok. He is a PhD in anatomy. So that is anatomy department. Then we have Department of Biochemistry. Biochemistry department, Aparna madam will brief you about it.
The head and professor of the Department of Biochemistry is Dr. M. Ittagappa sir. And next, Dr. Basaraj V. Saudi sir is associate professor in the department. Next, Dr. Asfiya, associate professor in the Department of Biochemistry. And then Dr. Shiv Prasad sir, right now not available. Then Ms. Pragna is a tutor in the department, and recently joined staff is Dr. Divya, associate professor in the Department of Biochemistry.
These are the two preclinical subjects, and we have physiology also.
So here introducing you to the department Department of Physiology faculty. Previously, Dr. Devraj sir was HOD. Now recently, Kanyakumari madam is professor and head of Department of Physiology. Next, we have Dr. Ganashri madam. She is professor in the Department of Physiology and also MU coordinator. Then we have three associate professors in our department, Dr. Tereshwini, then Dr. Aftab, and it's myself, Dr. Aparna, but it's not updated as associate professor. Thank you. Next.
Forensic medicine is headed by Dr. Vishwanath KG, who is a professor and HOD of the department, and it also has Dr. Sridhar NC, Dr. Chandan V, and Dr. Sri Krishna, who are all associate professors. And Sri Krishna sir is professor of forensic medicine. Their photographs have not been updated, so apologies for that. Yeah, and Dr. Chandan is also the secretary of DMCH SJM Healthcare Society, where you can buy the books and such stuff. Yeah, you should buy the books and all the stationery mandatorily from SJM Healthcare Society. That is forensic medicine. Then we have microbiology department. Microbiology department is headed by Dr. Shubha Madam, who is a professor and head of the department, and Dr. Sudhindra KS is a professor in the Department of Microbiology, and we have associate professors Dr. Sumant and Dr. Jagdevi and Dr. Sai Priya. That's it in microbiology department. And in the Department of Community Medicine or Preventive and Social Medicine, the department is headed by the professor and head of the department, Dr. Nagendra Gowda sir, and it also has Umakant sir, who is a professor, and Kotresh, who is an associate professor, and Dr. Ramya, who is also an associate professor, and deputy superintendent of in the hospital is Dr. Sudharani, who is also assistant professor, associate professor in community medicine, and Dr. Rashmi BM is also deputy MS in the hospital and is also assistant professor in Department of Community Medicine. And we have Dr. Amruta and Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, who are also assistant professors in the Department of Community Medicine. And we have a statistician who is Mrs. Sridevi, and tutors we have Bhagyashree and Bhuvan Chandra, who are PGs and co-tutors in the department. Apart from that, we have Pathology Department, which is headed by Dr. Narayan Murthy sir, who is a professor in pathology, and the department is headed by Dr. Narayan Murthy sir. And other professors in the department are Dr. Mahadevappa and Dr. Ramesh VL. These are the professors, and associate professors include Dr. Ramu, who has been instrumental in helping me manage this show. And we have another Dr. Sonam Nandyal, who is an associate professor, and Dr. Bindu BJ, who is also an associate professor, and Dr. Shravani, who is an assistant professor, and Dr. Ruhi, who is a assistant tutor, and we have PGs in the department, who are all listed here. Then next preclinical department is the pharmacology, which is headed by Dr. Umakant Patil sir now, and you won't see the name or the photograph because it is not yet updated. And next you have Dharmaraj sir, who is a associate professor in the Department of Pharmacology, and Dr. Abhijit has left, and Dr. Jagdish sir was the previous HOD. So these are the preclinical departments. If you go to the hospital, you will see Anesthesiology Department, which is headed now by Dr. Megha Madam, who is a professor and head in the Department of Anesthesiology, and staffed by Associate Professor Dr. Ashwini, and Dr. Rakesh Alur, who is also emergency medicine physician here. He is also working in the emergency medicine department and anesthesiology. And Dr. Shruti is assistant professor in anesthesia. Then Dr. Grishma, then Dr. Timareddy sir, who is also working in the Department of Anesthesiology. Then you have Dr. Padmaja and Dr. Vijay Lakshmi. Then we have Chest and TB Department. The Chest and TB Department is headed by Dr. Basaraj Sangoli, who is the Associate Professor, and Dr. Jagdish. And coming to ENT Department, the ENT Department is currently in charge is Dr. Manjunath Rao, who is a professor, and HOD, and also includes Dr. Prahlad Anvi, who is also professor, and has Dr. Manjunath and Dr. Amardeep Singh and Dr. Lakshman Reddy. Apart from this, it also has 2 PGs. And coming to general medicine, medicine is currently headed by Professor and Head Dr. Vagesh Kumar, and Professor Prashant sir, Dr. Prashant ji is the professor in medicine, and but he is the head dean of the college, whom you saw in the first welcome speech, and also has Dr. M.M. Kausar sir, who is a professor in medicine, and Dr. Madhu, who you met yesterday, and he took a session on history of medicine. And we have Dr. Nalyana, who is associate professor now, promoted to professor. And then we have Dr. Gauss Pasha, who is an associate professor. Then Dr. Vijay is an associate professor in medicine, and Dr. Tyagraj. These are all medicine department staff. We come to general surgery. In general surgery, we had excellent, eminent Professor Dr. Manjunath Gowda, who unfortunately passed away recently because of COVID. So now it is currently headed by Dr. Sharath BV, who is a professor in surgery, and we have assisting him, we have Professor Dr. Virendra Swami and Associate Professor Dr. KBC Sogi, and then Suresh Kadli, Dr. Suresh Kadli is a urologist. He's under surgery, but he's a Associate Professor of Urology. And then we have recently joined doctors who not been updated with their photographs, Dr. Ashwini. To ophthalmology is headed by Dr. Padmaja madam, Padmajoti madam, and currently has Dr. Ishwarappa, and Dr. Ujjanappa, and Dr. Savita. OBG department is currently headed by Dr. Geeta madam, a professor in obstetrics and gynecology, and also we have previous head of the department, Dr. Lata V, who is a professor in OBG, and we have other doctors, Dr. Lokeshwari, Dr. Gagandeep, Dr. Nazma, and Dr. Suhasini. These are all doctors which are working in the department of OBG. Orthopedics Department, no photographs are available, but it is headed by Dr. Channareddy now, as Dr. Rajesh sir took over in charge of the emergency medicine, and Dr. Palakshaya sir is a medical superintendent and he is a head, professor of orthopedics, and Dr. Rajesh MS is also professor of orthopedics, and we have Dr. Hanumantraya Gurraj and Dr. Venkateshwar Reddy, Ravi Rangareddy, Dr. Tulja Prasad, Dr. Naveena Jyoti, Dr. Sachin, Dr. Kiran, and Dr. Pragadishwaran. These are all postgraduate students working in the Department of Orthopedics. Coming to dermatology, skin and VD, the head of the department is Professor and head Dr. Yogendra M, and it is also staffed by Dr. Raghu MT, who is an associate professor, and then we have Dr. Virupakshappa, Nikita, Gangaraju, Dr. Shreya, Dr. Ashwini, and newly joined residents, that is Purva and Rakesh. And
so here you see the faculties of Department of Pediatrics. Professor and head is Dr. Baswantappa sir. Next you have Dr. Srinivas B. Professor, Dr. Raghavendra K. Again professor here. Dr. Srinivas V. sir as a professor, and rest associate professors include Dr. Archana, Dr. Mohammad Shakil, and then Dr. Prithvish assistant professor, and we have senior residents as well as JRs, and also we have tutors present in the Department of Pediatrics.
Psychiatry department is headed by Dr. Gopal Das, and there is a new addition. There are 4 doctors in psychiatry department now. Only 2 people have been included here. Dr. Gopal Das is this, and Dr. Who is an associate professor in psychiatry, and Dr. Deepak. And apart from them, you have Dr. Shardi and Dr. Vinita, I think.
Now moving on to the last department, Department of Radiodiagnosis. This department is led by Dr. Naveen Marahali sir, Professor and Head. Next we have Dr. Naveen, Associate Professor, Dr. Sri Vijay, Associate Professor, Dr. Arun Kumar, Associate Professor, then Dr. Siddharoda and Dr. Sridevi and Dr. Shruti as Assistant Professor in the department. The new inclusions to the department are the PGs, Dr. Shashank and Dr. Sona. So we can proudly again say that this year we have PG departments, we have postgraduates in all the clinical departments on the hospital side.
That concludes this session. I hope you have some basic idea about what the institution is and what you are going to encounter, who are the people in the institution. When you come back, we will take you around and we will introduce you to all the departments and department heads and the staff. Also, when you come here, you will be able to see and experience all of this in person. So this is just a preview. So don't be disheartened that this is all we get to see. So when you come back, definitely everything will be in person, and you can get to know the institution and the departments and all the doctors, eminent doctors that are working in the college and the hospital personally. So thank you all for joining in. You can carry on to your day. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.